Alright, so here we are, my buddies. We're getting this draw situation figured out on this forge. I'm using my knowledge of building chimneys and stuff. So, first one out of metal I've helped to build. But we've got the cant over the fire pot the way that it should be. We got the correct size pipe. That's the tricky part. And you may not see it, but it is drawing. So you see that smoke and how it's disappearing? It's sucking it right up. So we know that's the correct size pipe. And we're gonna need to hook this pipe into that and then do a bend. But you can see the smoke. Maybe, there you go. You can see some of the smoke trying to escape outside the building there. There we are. So, see it sucking up out of that hole. Alright, let's test the draw. So we've got the pipe in place, we've got the box welded up. He did all the work. I just gave guidance.
What's that?
Oh, I'm just shooting a quick video.
Oh, yeah.
Smoking paper will tell you the tale of your draw. Look at that. Just sucks it right on in there, brother.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
See how it's just whipping it right through there? It's just pulling it right into that vacuum. Which is what it should be doing. And even from 8 to 10 inches away, it's still doing it. Job accomplished.
This is some interesting stuff. Some ancient stuff. Whatever it is.
But yeah, brother, even from like nearly a foot away, look at that.
Nice.
I mean, like, yeah, about a foot away is what you got on the draw on this.
Now, they said, Drew was telling me weather can make a big difference in what we'll draw and how it draws. Like, what kind of weathers will affect it? Like hot summer days, is it going to draw less?
It'll probably actually draw more on your hot summer days.
Okay.
When the wind is really whipping across.
Okay.
Is where it's going to really suck at the drawing, from what I've noticed in my experiences.
Okay.
So like today, it's a nice, beautiful day. It's going to draw just beautifully. In fact, I'm really glad I came now. Ha! But on the cold days where it's been really wet and rainy and whatnot, you might notice a little bit less draw.
Okay.
Sucking it right on up. And that is how you build a forge chimney. So we're going to get this blower hooked up. But draw is good. Not so sure about how much of this is actually asbestos, so I'm not going to mess with that, but we're going to cut. He's going to cut that out later on in time. Clean all this stuff up. So, but next, hook up the blower. And it's got a hookup spot right back here. So we're going to hook it all up and see where it goes. But that makes my day. I can build you a chimney that draws, whether out of metal or out of stone or brick or whatever. The draw is the real tricky bit. Getting it to draw, that's the trick.
Should I be worried?
No, because there it goes. Once when that smoke finds its way,
Gotcha.
that's why I'm saying have that hood.
Yeah.
If you have that hood goes across, comes out,
Yeah.
it'll guide that smoke. But now that the smoke's found its way.
What's that? Not cooking kebabs. I guess we could.
You want to put this in the
Yep.
desk?
Just put it on the desk.
For the rest foil.
Yep, that'd be
Thank you
fine.
very much.
Put it in there, that'd be great. Yep.
Some of our tenants from Afghanistan, they have many versions of that. Thank you.
Yep.
Just sit on the desk, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And see, once when it finds, there it goes again. You just got to help the smoke find its way. And there's the outside. Yeah. Yeah. There's the box drawing fire. Yeah. Look at that draw on that. Like, it's sucking the flame right up. And now, sir, you are set. To forge.
There's a little bit going out of here, but not much.
Nah. Like I said, you put if you was to forge a hood to come around, if you forge a hood to come up and over, that'll take care of just everything. I don't think you're gonna have a problem. That coal is definitely on fire now.
Now, how fast am I going to run out of coal here?
Well, you probably got all day with what you have. But that's the other thing about this style of this size of forge. It'll burn through it. You can go through.
Which that's fine if I got a group of 5 people here and they're all working from the forge. It's okay to burn through it. It feels quite waste.
Well, let's take Mr. Alexander's shop. He goes through a 50-pound bag of coal a day.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
Yeah. So I would expect that with this forge, you're going to go through about 50 pounds a day.
But I'm never going to be out here all day. I'm going to be out here for 2 or 3 hours at a time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But if you're in full-fledged production, especially for the classes,
Yeah.
that's what I would factor in 50 pounds of coal for each day.
That thing is definitely hot now. And did that burn it?
That's welding temp.
Okay.
Congratulations, dude. You're now more of a blacksmith than you was before. You burnt your first piece of steel.
There we go. So is burning steel, is that a bad thing when they say
That's
that?
a bad thing, yeah.
Okay.
Now, when you're doing your architectural blacksmithing and stuff, it's a bad thing, but it's forgivable.
Okay.
So, when you're doing stuff like that, it's kind of okay. Like,
Okay.
what that does is that gives you maximum heat, and to be able to work, like you can see why people would use a trip hammer for something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you got heat in there, you can get to it real quick.
Yep.
Now, in knife making and tool making and the kneading the carbon in the steel, what burning does is it returns it back almost to its bloom state, and it's the sparkling you see is the carbon leaching out of the steel.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
it's not conducive if you're trying to make a knife to be burning your steel.
Gotcha.
Once when you start to see sparks on your blade, that's it. It's gone.
Okay.
It goes into the scrap bin.
Gotcha.
Yep. Just look at that, sucking it up.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
It's definitely something that
Jenkins I am.
it's gonna.
The gift of making a chimney draw runs in the family.
There you go.
This is encouraging because if we've worked and made this one draw this good, then that means the one that I built for Manassas Battlefield for the national park up there ought to be really, really good. I put 2 throats in that thing.
You did what?
I put 2 throats in that.
Okay.
So you've got the firebox and you've got your 2 throats. So essentially this is kind of the same concept where we got the big pipe. It goes down, you know, it's like what I was pointing out last night at Dale's. It's a big pipe and it narrows down.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
But then it also hits that box in the back. And when it hits that box in the back that you built, that creates the vortex, that creates the sucking action because now you've got a lot more space.
Gotcha.
So once when that smoke gets back in there and it gets that chance to make that vortex and it completes that circuit, you see now we're not having a bit of a problem with it. That circuit's complete.
Yeah. Okay.
So once when you get that circuit complete, it pulls it right up, and we did it beautifully. So
It's working.
it's got the same concept as a 2-throated chimney,
And that's welding temperature.
almost welding temperature,
Okay. How do you
almost
tell?
by the color.
So that's supposed to be a little more yellow if it was welding temperature. Is that right?
Yep, it's white.
Okay. So I think there's a very fine line between welding and burning.
Extremely fine.
So different types of tongs. I'm assuming these are not the best tongs for
They are
something
not
this
the
thick?
best tongs for something like that. You actually need a set of box tongs
Okay.
that will reach around and grab the circle.
Okay.
So box tongs can come in where the shape is like this, but what you need is a 2-jaw where you've got the round shape where you can grab
Okay.
the rounds. But now you got a forge. I mean, you got forge, you got steel, a little bit of know-how, and you can make any tong you need.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. A few YouTube videos.
That's the thing about blacksmithing, like, well, Lord, I can come in here and we can make a set of tongs together. I know how to make them. I've made them.
Yeah,
Didn't I show you my tongs for the railroad spikes?
you did. You did.
The process is really simple, but the execution can be tricky. But yeah, I would start watching whatever you could watch on it and
Yeah.
get it figured out. But this is a skill that you learn by doing as well, so
Yeah.
you can take it in visually and get a grasp of it. But once when you start beating on it, just remember you're not that smith
Yeah.
with that smith's experience who's
Yeah.
making it look extremely
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, I've already discovered that. I watched those. I think it's black finger boards or whatever
Yep.
it is. And it just makes it really easy.
Now, as you do this, remember, don't put it so deep in there that it's just above your air crate.
Okay.
Because that's where your air's coming in. That's where it's going to be the cold. That's going to be one of the places where it's cold. What you're looking for is you're looking for that happy medium in between.
Okay.
So don't shove it in there till you can't go down no more.
Okay.
Because then you're going to find that the very end of that piece of steel won't get as hot as the rest of it.
Gotcha.
So essentially where you're wanting to work at is just below, is in this mound. And the more coal you put on top, the more of this mound. So if you're working a longer piece of steel where you need it to be able to go across, you need to be able to mound it up a lot more.
Okay,
And that
so you
brings
need more
your
coal.
brings your heat bubble on the inside
Okay.
more.
Gotcha.
And the less when your coal's burning down, like right now it's burning down, so that's why you're feeling like you need to shove it down in there.
Gotcha.
Because when you pull it out, it's sunk down deeper
Okay.
because it's burning through that coal.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So you'll always see me in my little rivet forge piling coal on top, because the more coal you put on top of it, the more your heat bubble is.
Gotcha. Okay.
I actually impressed another smith out there down in Richmond where I was working, and he was looking at my fire, and he was like, he would just look at it and just sit there and laugh and laugh and laugh. And I was like, dude, I was like, Tom, why are you laughing? He goes, I've just never seen a blacksmith work with such a very small fire, but you're working with a really small fire and making it work.
Yeah.
Because right now you have 8 inches at least inside that fire pot of white hot coal, and that gives you your heat to keep piling more coal into it. Once when you get that filled up going, you're set.
And then how long? So like when I'm ready to quit that, how do I shut it down? Do I just kind of pull the coal back?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.